44, Mark Vlasic. Number 48, Tomas Hertl. Number 50, Chris Tierney. Number 57, Tommy Wingles. Number 61, Justin Braun. Number 83, Matt Nieto. Number 88, Brett Burns. Number 31, Monty Niemi. And number 32, Alex Taylor. Assistant coach, Larry Robinson. Assistant coach, Jay Woodcroft. Assistant coach, Jim Johnson. And the head coach of your San Jose Sharks, Todd McClellan. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2014-2015 San Jose Sharks.
So there you have it, the introduction of this year's version of the Sharks. And now to Ice Level and Jamie Baker with Tommy Wingles.
With Tommy Wingles, scored a couple goals last game. How does your line, who played so great against LA, build off that win?
Yeah, we got to take the momentum from game one. You know, we were all over the puck, both offensively and defensively, got on them early, and we're going to try to do that again tonight.
Great fans here, home opener. Did you get a little more nervous?
I don't know about nervous, but there's definitely a lot of energy in this building, so we want to give these fans what they want, and that's a win.
Thank you very much. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Bix.
Tommy Wingles with a great opening game Wednesday in Los Angeles as the Sharks opened the season against the team that knocked them out of Game 7 in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs back in April. The eventual champion Kings. Wingles with 2 goals on Wednesday in a 4-0 shutout win, backstopped by perfect goaltending from Monty Niemi. And as you look down the bench and reflect on the introductions, the core is there. Thornton, Marlowe, Vlasic, Niemi, Burns, Pavelski, and the youth is there too as the Sharks embark on another long 81 now game campaign toward the playoffs. Now to Ice Level and O Canada.
Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Anne-Marie Mitchell.
A full house here at SAP Center. We are glad you're along for this home opener here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Sharks and their Western Conference opponents from the Central Division, the Winnipeg Jets. That gentleman is the mayor of the city of San Jose, Chuck Reed, the Honorable Mayor of San Jose, out to do the ceremonial puck drop. And a little bit of intrigue here, Jamie Baker. The Sharks have 4 alternate captains this year. Who's going to come to center ice?
We got some side bets going. I don't know. You go with the center, and if you do, well, is it going to be Thornton or is it going to be Pavelski? We're going to find out.
Maybe there was a coin toss already in the dressing room. Hopefully someone will go out there and greet the mayor.
They're looking around themselves, and it looks like Joe Pavelski's going to take the ceremonial face-off for the San Jose Sharks.
Interesting side note, as Mayor Reed was also in attendance for the Stadium Series news conference last week at Levi Stadium, where the Sharks will play the LA Kings in February, and he wore a Joe Thornton hat to that event. But indeed, it is Joe Pavelski along with Winnipeg's captain Andrew Ladd at center ice for that ceremonial puck drop. Time to check out this evening's Honda starting goalies. And it is 27-year-old Alex Stalock. 12 wins, terrific goals against and save percentage numbers last year as he backed up Antti Niemi. And he will face down at the other end the veteran now in his 8th year with the Jets, Andrei Pavelec. His start to this season has been sharp as the Jets are coming off an impressive win of their own in Arizona 2 nights ago when they beat the Coyotes. Paul Maurice, their head coach, his first full season as he took a job midway through last year. And the home schedule underway here at SAP Center. Sharks and Jets, game number 2 for both teams. Sharks with the puck as Pavelski out there with Thornton and Hertl on that first shift made something happen. But now 2-on-1, Ladd with a shot and a save and then a rebound try. And Alex Stalock tested early by Winnipeg on that outman rush.
Brett Burns came in the backside and a pass to the slot area. You got to be careful if you're going to make a pass. If a D comes down low, giving up an early 2-on-1. Nice save by Stalock.
Winnipeg is fast and they're big. Todd McClellan talked about them this morning. They will be a stiff challenge this evening and this season when they meet the Sharks. Last year, the Jets took 2 out of 3 in the season series. Justin Braun from the right point. Pavelec got a piece of that. Nieto recovers. Patrick Marleau dishing back to the blue line, and Braun's wrister is deflected into the corner. Nieto hands off to Couture. Nice give to Marleau. He's got some room. Into the slot for Couture. Pavelec the save, and he'll cover it up. Time to take a look at our Xfinity lines for tonight. Thornton centering Pavelski and Hertl. That's a lethal threesome. And you come right back after that with Couture between Nieto and Marleau. And then some of the new names and faces. Chris Tierney centering Wingels and McGinn. That's Ty McGinn, the brother of Jamie McGinn. And the rest of the San Jose lineup. Rookie Mirko Mueller making his home debut after he made his NHL debut on Wednesday. And the 19-year-old big man from Switzerland looked sharp Wednesday. Now the Jets recover the puck and move it up the near side. It's Adam Lowry, and we'll have more to say about Mr. Lowry as he is playing in a building where his father played as a member of the Sharks. Stalock trying to wrist it up the boards. Now it drops for San Jose, and it's center ice time again upended as he shovels it over the line.
That's a good first shift for the Sharks' third line. They were all +2 last game. Tommy Wingels, of course, getting goals number 1 and 2 on the season.
Now dumped back in, and here's Mueller. First-round draft pick of the Sharks 2 seasons ago. He's been preparing in the Western Hockey League in Everett, Washington, under head coach Kevin Constantine, someone who you can speak to just a little bit, Jamie Baker.
Going back a few years.
Here's Andrew Desjardins now behind the Jet net. Nice little move. Adam Burish there. He'll chip it around. Mueller quickly getting across. Just didn't have time to keep that in.
Well, you just used the word Mueller and quickly, and our San Jose Sharks fans are going to find out he is a very smooth skating defenseman. Complements the speed of Brent Burns extremely well.
18th overall in the 2013 draft. He's from Switzerland, only 19 years old. Playing in his second NHL game tonight as Ladd tests Stalock. And now Michael Frolik back to the point. And a nice try there by Tobias Enstrom. Pavelski quickly as the Sharks transition with Hurdle. This shot. And it deflects wide and over the Jets net as Bogosian got a piece of that. Hurdle again. It bounces off a Winnipeg skate and into the crease as we look at the Jets lineup tonight. And they're missing a big player out of their lineup, Jamie Baker, Evander Kane.
Oh man, he cut across the blue line trying to stay on side. He got hit by one of his own players last game. Hopefully it's not serious, but he's missing in action tonight for the Winnipeg Jets.
The Jets updated their media and the rest of us today on Kane, saying that he is out with a lower body injury. It appeared to be the right knee in that collision with Mark Scheifele last game in Arizona on Thursday night. And they don't expect him to be available when they play in Los Angeles tomorrow. This starts back-to-backs for the Jets. So for now, Kane out of that lineup. Sharks on the attack. Here's Vlasic, the reshot. They score! Patrick Marleau may have chipped it in, and the Sharks have a 1-0 lead.
Well, the speed of Marleau and Nieto and the hockey sense of Couture get this team on the board. And there's Nieto breaking up the play. Marleau down low. Couture, great job supporting and then feeding it to Pavelski. Or to Vlasic. What I love is Marleau makes the play in the corner and goes right to the front of the net. As is, and there's Nieto. And I'm not sure if Marleau's going to get credit for it or not. You got Nieto right in front. I think that might be Vlasic's goal. But great forecheck using the speed of Nieto, Marleau. Great support by Couture. Kick it back to Vlasic. Sharks up 1-0.
On that overhead, it looked like it might have come off the original shot from Vlasic, off the defenseman Mark Stewart, and then past Pavlik. But the Sharks are on the board here to start the home season with their first goal of the year. And of course, they got on the Kings early on Wednesday night down at Staples Center and never looked back, going on to a 4-0 win.
Well, it was Marleau breaking up the play on Jonathan Quick that led to the Nieto goal right after Tommy Wingels had made it 3-0. That kind of cemented that lead for the Sharks, giving them a 4-0 lead over LA.
And indeed, it is Vlasic's goal. His first of the year from Couture and Patrick Marleau at the 3:22 mark here in the first period. Now, Matthew Perreault, who played in Anaheim last year and had a good season for them, joined the Jets as a free agent to try and beef up their center ice position. Out there for the Jets right now, wearing number 85 as it's dumped in from this side by Stewart, who we think that goal went in off of past Andre Pavlik. Adam Burish now, good to see number 37 healthy again. Into Mike Brown, and he's surrounded by white sweaters, and it's chipped back to the far side. Boards Jacob Trouba, number 8. And he is a player being talked around the National Hockey League as maybe being the next big thing on defense, not only in Winnipeg, but in the league. He had a terrific rookie year, and there are no limits to where number 8 can go for the Jets. He's definitely a huge part of their future going forward. Zach Bogosian up to the far side. Now the Jets trying to get back in this. Down 1-0 on the goal by Vlasic. Stalock for Vlasic. They have to move it quickly. A couple of forecheckers in. That was big. Michael Frolik in there almost picked it off. Here's a break. Brown scores! The it's Hurdle! It's Tomas Hurdle on the one-timer, and he beats Pavlik, and the Sharks get 2 quick ones.
Well, that'll get the Sharks fans going. Tomas Hurdle, who missed so many games last year, comes in alone, goes short side. And it was after a great pass from Thornton, after a great breakout by the Sharks. You can see Tomas Hurdle, he realizes the defenseman's diving. Look at him go right through the middle, catches that puck on his backhand, quick release. Great execution, and it all starts with good defense. Sharks forcing Winnipeg to break in, dump the puck in, and 2 crisp passes breaking out. A breakaway goal by Tomas Hurdle, his first of the year.
So the Sharks line of Hurdle, Thornton, and Pavelski all combined to make it 2-0. Now here's Matt Nieto. He darts down the left wing, puts on the brakes against Bogosian. Now looking for Couture, who's run out of the way there by big Mark Stewart. As the Jets have a little snarl going now. They were doing this to Arizona on Thursday night, running up the score in the first period, went on to a big win. Here's another chance for the Sharks. Nieto will pick up his own rebound, and now Pavlik able to cover it enough for a whistle.
And Logan Couture heading off. Got a nice little smile on his face after another good shift. The top 2 lines for San Jose setting the, we're going to see the breakout here. What a pass here by Joe Pavelski all the way across the ice to Thornton, and then he seams a perfect pass to Hurdle, who goes in, and you can see Sharks were very east-west there. They spread out Winnipeg in the neutral zone, and that allowed a seam for Hurdle to read, react, find it, and then catch that pass on his backhand.
So the Sharks get a goal from a defenseman, and they get a goal from a young man whose season last year started brilliantly, Tomas Hurdle. It was abbreviated due to an injury in the knee-on-knee collision with Dustin Brown. Now McGinn from up top. That deflects away to Tommy Wingle. And the Sharks chase back. Demers forced to his own line. 2-0, San Jose in the lead as veteran Scott Hannon signed in the offseason to a new 1-year contract by general manager Doug Wilson after the Sharks lost Dan Boyle and Brad Stewart off their blue line. Now Wingles in the corner, and that's moved off the boards and out by Matt Halischuk, and the Sharks have it again. Hannon hands it off to Demers. He'll skate smoothly up to the Jets line, sends it in, and Pavlik carrying it away to the far boards, but right again to Brent Burns. Burns helping beef up the Sharks blue line again. Of course, he played on the right wing last year, most of the time alongside Joe Thornton, but the Sharks moving him back to defense, where he came from Minnesota, playing that position when he joined the Sharks in a trade several years ago as the Jets go offside. Vlasic and Hurdle, 2 goals in under 2 minutes. The Sharks off to a good start in the home opener. Time for tonight's Lexus Keys to the Game, Jamie Baker.
I feel like I need to call an audible now that the Sharks are up 2-0, but first key tonight, keep it simple. Home opener, you don't want to try and do too much. Get rid of the jitters early in the game. Second key, neutralize the Jets' speed. We saw what they did last game against Phoenix. Sharks have done a good job so far in the neutral zone. Third one, short shifts, good changes, especially considering 15 of the next 19 games are on the road.
Well, the Jets certainly, I'm sure, during that TV timeout, talked about resetting a little bit after a bit of a shaky start for them here at SAP Center tonight. Now Andrew Ladd trying to move past Hurdle, and then Hurdle upends Frolik at the line. Play goes on as the Jets change up their defense behind the play. Right now the Sharks have San Jose in front 7-2, and on the scoreboard 2-0 on the goals by Vlasic and Hurdle. First of the season for each of those gentlemen. On Wednesday in LA, Wingles had 2. He had the first star of the game. Marleau and Nieto also scored in that one. Wheeler trying to set up Shankly. Didn't go. Here's Couture back the other way, and a big hip check thrown by Trouba. And Logan Couture lost his stick, but he's right back up. And there is Jacob Trouba. He's a big man and a physical player, and he laid the lumber there on Logan Couture.
Yeah, led the ice time TOI for the Jets last game, over 24 minutes, 6'2", 200 pounds.
Back into the neutral zone. Justin Braun tried to find Marlo. Scheifele sends it back the other way. Blake Wheeler with a backhand, and that went wide. Stalock might have gotten a piece of it. As it's back out to center ice. Paul Postma turning, weaving, getting it back to Scheifele as he was knocked down by McGinn after he made the pass.
And some words there from some of the guys on the Winnipeg Jets bench.
Wingles across, and a great chance there for McGinn, and he missed an open net. Perreault in transition to the rookie Lowry. Back to Matthew Perreault. Lowry trying to get between bodies and catch that pass. As Adam Pardy moves it down past the goal line to Perreault. A hip check by Demers. Now Hannon battling Perreault. Perreault and Hannon, and now Demers again. And down goes Perreault, and he's a little shaky getting back up. And it's getting physical now after a pretty speedy first 8 or 9 minutes, Jamie.
San Jose playing great. That's the first time they've kind of been hemmed in their own zone. They collapsed down low. Did a good job. Nice hit there by Demers.
Burns just ducked a hit from Chris Thorburn. Now Slater trying to knock his man off the puck as Mueller's put into the boards by Thorburn. 2-0 Sharks here in the first period. Good action in this home opener for the 2014-15 season. Andrew Desjardins, the poke check there by Zach Bogosian. Now Thorburn a wrister. That's caught by Stalock and Hill.
Well, this game's starting to heat up with the Sharks up 2-0, getting a little more physical. Logan Couture coming down the boards. Trouba steps up right at the blue line. Linesman just gets out of the way. McGinn comes back. He gets a nice hit in open ice. And we see a nice chance here for the San Jose Sharks down low. McGinn just missing it. Get some pushing and shoving. Emotions not surprising. Both teams coming off big wins. Sharks up 2-0. And you can see Burge and Zach Bogosian having some choice words for each other.
There's Couture. Appears to be all right on the Sharks bench. Trouba listed at 6'2", 200 pounds, but remember, he's only 20 years old. Any of you who have a 20-year-old at home, I'm guessing he's not 200 pounds.
You know, Couture was ready for that hit. He saw it, Trouba. He came, as he was coming through the neutral zone, I think he was trying a soft chip and trying to bounce off him. You can't do it as easily when you're at the player's bench because there's no glass there. If you can get inside of the blue line, a lot of times a guy can come and hit you. You can still squeeze by him. That's ultimately what Couture was trying to do. Give credit to Trouba for catching Couture before he got to the blue line.
Zach Bogosian, 2 minutes for roughing at 9:34. Sharks on their first power play of the game as that's cleared back onto the Winnipeg bench and everybody ducking out of the way of that one as the Sharks are on a Cache Creek power play. They did capitalize on the power play on Wednesday with one of their 4 goals.
Patty Marleau with a nice redirect from the mid-slot.
Here's Vlasic now to Burns, and he pumps one right through, and Pavlik saw it all the way as Marleau and Thornton and Pavelski also out there make it hurdle Pavelski and Thornton.
We're going to take a look at that power play goal from the LA game. Vlasic keeps it in, Burns heads up, and there's the redirect. Patty Marleau stick on the ice, head up, right in the middle, short side. You can see quick sliding from his left to his right. It goes over his left shoulder. Great execution by the Sharks.
Vlasic, and his shot goes wide. Recovered by Tomas Hertl. Now Thornton on the boards, back up top. Back to Thornton. Finished second in the NHL in assists. Here's Vlasic, and he's robbed by Pavlik. Maybe if he one-times that, Pavlik doesn't make the save. Short-handed. It's Ladd. Across, and a great feed, but Burns got back to cover, and that prevented Little from scoring. 2-on-1 the other way. Pavelski can't find the handle, and it goes back the other way again to Brian Little. Here's Little, and he can't corral it for a chance as he peels back into the neutral zone.
Well, Sharks will have to keep an eye on Brian Little. He got a short-handed goal last game against the Arizona Coyotes.
It's going to take probably a month or two for us to stop calling him Phoenix.
Not Phoenix, it's Arizona.
Of course, they've never played in Phoenix, or at least not in the last while since they moved from downtown out to Glendale.
And here's Thornton coming down, head up, feet wide. You can see his weight on the heels, and he tries a saucer pass with a little too much sauce. And just prior to that, the puck came. Vlasic wants it on his back foot. The puck was on his front foot. I thought Vlasic did a great job of using his right foot just to keep it in play. Just missed on it.
Well, chances for both teams on this power play. That pass behind Mueller, and the Sharks have to tag up to get onside as Blake Wheeler will lift it all the way down, leading 40 seconds on the penalty to Bogosian. Scheifele. Nice work against 3 Sharks. Now Nieto able to recover it for San Jose. 2-0 on goals by Vlasic and Hertl in the first 5 minutes and change of this opening period. This is Marleau looking for Couture up ice. Broken up by Hardy. Demers watches as TJ Gagliardi, number 21 in white, out there for the Jets. The former Shark forward side as a free agent in the offseason after a year in Calgary last season.
To Dartmouth University for a year before turning pro. He was a good guy. He was very popular here in the dressing room in San Jose.
In fact, on this roster, you could argue that Gagliardi took the spot of another former Shark, Devin Setaguchi. He went to Calgary. Gagliardi left Calgary and came to Winnipeg. Back at full and even strength now as the Sharks come up empty on the power play, but they've had a couple of good chances with the man advantage tonight. Now here's Chris Tierney, the rookie who picked up an assist in his first NHL point Wednesday. A wrist shot by Wingels turned aside by Ondrej Pavelec. Now Party with the steal. He'll work it ahead for the captain, Andrew Ladd. One-time Chicago Blackhawk who won a Stanley Cup there. Now Wingels across for his line mate Tierney. 7.5 to go here in this opening period as the Sharks off to a good start here, and that one goes off Wheeler and out of play. We'll be back on Comcast Sportsnet, California. The opening week of hockey is presented by Dairy Queen. Jamie Baker, a faithful customer of that establishment over the years. Jamie, what's the you're going to be inside the glass on every home game here on Comcast Sportsnet California. What's it feel like down there tonight?
Well, first of all, I have 3 goals for the year. 1, don't get hit by a puck or stick. 2, don't chirp the other team. This is the longest I've ever been down here and not chirped anybody. And 3, provide a different perspective. Sharks obviously have good energy right now, but surprisingly, the Jets, they have not shown any frustration on their bench despite being down 2-0 and being outplayed by the Sharks.
Well, they certainly showed they have the firepower to get it done the other night in Arizona, putting a 6th spot up on Mike Smith and company. The problem really hasn't been goal scoring as much as it's been goaltending. Pavelec with the save there, but he's received a lot of criticism, not only in Winnipeg, but around the league for his play the last few years. Here's big Dustin Byfuglien trying to wrap it around one-handed. Vlasic stays with him. Byfuglien all the way up top. Now hands it off to Bogosian, and his hard shot goes wide off the glass. Back down to Byfuglien, big number 33. Sharks fans will never forget that playoff series he had when the Sharks lost to the Blackhawks in the conference final and then went on to win the cup in front of now Shark goaltender Antti Niemi. Byfuglien was awesome in that series for Chicago against the Sharks.
I wonder if Byfuglien and Brent Burns talk at all during the summer. If not, they should. They switch from forward to deep.
Burns with a hard shot, and Pavelec down on his knees at the front of the crease to make the save. Well, did you know that you can save up to 36% off individual game ticket prices with a 10-game Shark Pack? Shark Packs are still on sale. They come with great benefits like playoff ticket priority, and you get the chance to purchase tickets to the outdoor game, the 2015 Coors Light NHL Stadium Series game against LA at Levi Stadium on February 21st. That's going to be a season-long theme talking about the outdoor game. A tremendous build-up to what should be a great game. We've got a good one going here. Sharks up 2-0 against the Winnipeg Jets here in the home opener at SAP Center. A deflected puck off the stick of Perreault, and it's corralled now by the rookie Tierney, number 52, Tommy Wingels. He tried to go all the way across to time again, but it wouldn't go. Knocked down by Postman. The Jets come back ahead.
They did a good job there of not allowing Wingels to get to the center red line to do a cross-corner dump.
As part of that 6-goal outburst in Arizona the other night, Winnipeg scored 3 goals in the first 8 minutes and 48 seconds of that game. And all of that came after Evander Kane was injured and left the game. Sometimes something like that kind of an event where you lose a top 6 forward to an injury, and it sure looked like a knee injury, it can unsettle your group. But Paul Maurice has to be happy with the way his team responded. Now he needs them to respond again.
Yeah, in a different fashion here tonight.
Andrew Ladd Here's Bogosian slapping it in wide, trying to get it through to Ladd on that left wing. A misplay there by the Sharks. The Jets get it back. Brian Little for Ladd behind the goal line to the middle for Frolik, but the pass wasn't on his stick. Trouba back against the other number 8, Pavelski, and Pavelski will peel off now on a line change. Mark Stewart trying to rim that around hard, and Stalock has to scamper back into his cage as they battle in the corner.
Stalock hasn't been tested often, but look back at a couple of big saves early in the game. One of them when the Sharks were on the power play.
He's made only 3 saves. Sharks out shooting the Jets 12-3 right now. Trouba across for Thorburn. That was tipped by Vlasic, and now he'll step up and move the puck to center. Off the stick of Mike Brown, and offside is Andrew Desjardins. We'll take a break. Sharks with the lead. Time for our McDonald's True Stories. Sharks went into the belly of the beast on Wednesday night, beat the Kings 4-0. Antti Niemi was perfect. 34 saves, and he became the first goalie in the NHL to shut out the defending Stanley Cup champs in their first game of the year since Turk Broda did it with the Leafs back in 1941, and it's the first ever shutout by the Sharks in their season opener. Jamie, you played with the Leafs. Did you ever meet Turk Broda?
I don't remember seeing him around Maple Leaf Gardens, but kudos to the Sharks coaching staff. They said that they were going to get the goalies in, and Niemi played fantastic last game, gets the shutout, and yet the coaches, true to form, what they said, they played Alex Stalock here tonight at the home opener.
In another city, maybe in a Canadian market, after a goaltender posts a shutout and doesn't get the next start, they'd be screaming goalie controversy, but you're right. Tom McClellan said all along he's going to get both these goaltenders, Niemi and Stalock, their share of work, and really with the Sharks playing 16 of their first 21 on the road and back-to-backs, etc., that would have happened anyway. Marlowe's pass, and now following is Nieto, and his shot goes out of play.
Well, Antti Niemi the other night with the shutout, and I thought San Jose outplayed the LA Kings, but he made some great saves. You saw him down there. There's one on Martinez. There's a rebound opportunity. And this was probably the best save of the game, and really the Sharks at the time were only up 1-0 on that wraparound opportunity from Carter. And there you can see another nice pad save. Niemi out near the top of the blue paint, challenging all night. Down in the butterfly, made a lot of good pad saves, good rebound control. Well-deserved shutout.
That save made the NHL Network save of the night last Wednesday, and it really speaks to the flexibility of the 31-year-old Niemi, and it shows you how much hard work goes into the preparation coming into a season. Niemi looked sharp on Wednesday, and Stalock hasn't seen a whole lot of incoming yet, but has looked sharp when needed so far here tonight.
Well, that was a nice job there by Time, again, catching that puck off his right skate, getting up. And because he caught the puck on his skate, if it was right on his tape, I think he finds Wingels. But he had to look down, and in the process of looking down, just the timing, it just threw the timing off, just a split second.
Time again, the brother of former Shark Jamie McGinn, originally drafted by Philadelphia. This is only his 38th NHL game, so while he's not a true rookie, McGinn doesn't have a whole lot of experience. So that's another youthful player that the Sharks have added to this lineup. McGinn's only 24. Wristed in by Ladd. Stalock slows that down from Mueller. Now Burns back against the Jets captain, Thornton. Cross ice, Mueller, good first stride, and you see his quickness getting to that puck. And now a nice tight turn to shake off the forechecker Little. Up through center. Mike Brown can't catch it. That'll go for icing against the Sharks.
Well, you just talked about the quickness again of Mueller, and we'll be talking about him and watching him. What I really like is when he's skating backwards, if the other team dumps the puck in, he opens up the pivot, and those first 2 strides are really powerful for a young man. And it allows him, his speed and his skating allow him to create time and space for himself. He gets back to pucks that have been dumped in so quickly. He's got time to get behind the net, use the net as a pick, and then he's got time to get his head up and determine, does he want to rim the puck, tape to tape, throw it off the glass? It starts with the skating.
I liked his game in LA Wednesday and showed a little snarl as well on a couple of plays where he got engaged with a couple of the Kings. You know, Jamie, the Swiss are a neutral people, but Mirko Mueller was not neutral on Wednesday night against the LA Kings.
He said that's one of the things. He wanted to add a little grit to his game, and he's been doing it so far.
Well, the Fanatical Kids Club is now open for registration, only $25. Kids will get all kinds of goodies. Go to sjsharky.com for more information and to register today. 2-0, 2:42 to go here in this opening period of the opening home game of this 2014-2015 campaign. Sharks will hit the road after this for 5 straight away from home. A hard shot there. That hit Blake Wheeler as it came off the stick of teammate Paul Postma. And now a big hit on the far side. And a convention after Desjardins went down.
That was Dustin Byfuglien tracking Desjardins right in front of the Sharks bench. And it happens a lot. You don't want guys to get to the red line. If they get the red line, they can dump the puck in. We're going to see Desjardins coming. He tries a little soft chip off the glass. There's Byfuglien. Desjardins absorbs the hit. And they have Dustin Byfuglien in the notes at 260. I don't think he's 260, but even if he's at 245 or 250, that's still a big man out there.
They do list him at 6'5", 260 pounds. I think there's a fine line. If you're known as a big player, they add 5 or 10 pounds to your weight. If you're supposed to be about 185, they usually list you at 180 to make you seem smaller. But with Byfuglien, they're trying to beat those numbers up. Either way, there is a lot of beats there. Demers weaving his way free of Matt Halischuk. Halischuk drew into the lineup tonight due to the injury to Vander Kane. Didn't play in Arizona on Thursday night in that Jets win. Now he's pinned along the boards by Hannon, but now with help he's able to move the puck. But Couture with a little backhand chip gets it to Nieto, and it's out of trouble. Marleau trying to track it down against Trouba. Good body position by the sophomore Jacob Trouba out of Minnesota. Trouba all the way to the Sharks goal line. Looking for help on that wing, but the Jets were changing on the fly. Now Jim Slater wearing 19, trying to keep it alive. Tierney trying to move it out of there to Wingles, and he has to backtrack. Good puck movement quickly between Vlasic and Braun. And now it gets away again to Slater, but caught in the zone was Gagliardi, and the Jets are offside.
Now we take a look at Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Had an assist last game. That's his first goal of the year. He's one of the assistant captains for the San Jose Sharks. And you hear from many analysts over the summer said if he wasn't injured in Game 5 last year, they think that might have been the difference in the series. But either way, he's going to be heavily relied on.
Knocked out of the series on a hit by the Kings, Jared Stoll. Vlasic led the Sharks in plus-minus last year at plus 31. Wouldn't be surprised to see his offensive numbers spike as well. Had 24 points last year. Going to be a penalty coming up here to the Jets as Pavlik makes the save. Now recovered, and the Sharks will finish the period with a power play opportunity here, their second.
Well, and getting back to Vlasic, the fact that Dan Boyle's not here is an opportunity for Marc-Edouard Vlasic as we see the penalty. A little bit of a, you can call it a rough, a high stick if you want.
39 for Winnipeg, 2 minutes for holding.
Or a hold.
Well,
pick the poison there. Nice job by Pavelski, establishing body position, put the Sharks in the power play. Vlasic, he'll be out in the power play. It's not this time, but he's going to get some power play, way more power play time this year than he did last season.
Enstrom for the hold at 19:06. It's the Sharks on their second power play. First go round earlier in the period, they had a couple of great chances, but they gave up an odd man rush, shorthanded as well. Couture to Burns, leans back, and that's blocked up top by Gagliardi out on this Jets penalty kill.
One of the areas the Sharks want to improve on this year is the power play. They were tied for 19th last year, but going back to 3 previous years, tied for 7th, then second and second, going back to the 2010-2011 season.
Gagliardi trying to get it out, and he does, as Pavelski chases back half a minute to go in the period. Burns, and he'll get it deep. On it is Scheifele, rims it around hard. Thornton gets it to Couture, to Burns. The right-hand shot needed a tip from Pavelski. The follow by Thornton off the outside of the net. 10 to go in the period. Thornton trying to get it back to a shooting position, but it got through past Burns all the way to Stalock. One quick chance here for a re-entry. Sharks split their shot as the buzzer sounds. And we've come to the end of the opening 20 minutes on home ice here in this 2014-2015 season. That's the end of the first period. It's the Sharks 2 and the Winnipeg Jets nothing. Coming up on the Ram Intermission Report, Brody Brazil and Curtis Brown will join us. And then Jamie Baker will be checking in at the Sharks dressing room with new Shark time again. It's time for the El Camino Hospital Focus on Winning. Let's go inside the glass with Jamie Baker.
Well, I talked to Tommy Wingels during the training camp and asked him what he was doing this summer from a training standpoint. What was his focus? And his focus was to get faster. And he wanted to work on his speed and quickness. And we could see it really last game. We're going to see his first goal. That was just great hands. But one of the things he said about, he was working on his lower body, not a lot of cardio. Worked on, he called it the posterior chain, the hams, the glutes, the back. He did 2 workouts on that, and you can see the speed there. He just blew away from the defense, and a great finish. But it all starts with the training that he did this summer, and he's our focus player of the game. Great job by Tommy Wingels, paying off. He's about 5 pounds lighter, he said, this year. He's weighing about 192, 193. So far, he likes it.
Wingels, a 6th-round draft pick of the Sharks back in 2008. He didn't go to the 177th pick, and now finds himself in his 5th year in the NHL, a 38-point season last year already. Off to a good start with a pair of goals in the first game. Sharks start the period on the power play as Toby Enstrom still in the box for the holding call late in that opening period as we're underway and the Sharks start on the power play with Mueller and Demers back on the blue line. And up top, it's the threesome of Couture, flanked on his wings by Marleau and Wingels this time around. Couture battling with Big Trouba, and others join the scrum in the corner. Comes out to Mueller, kicks it off his skate, back to the stick, across the line, taps it over to Demers. Jason turns, shakes off Gagliardi, gets it down to the goal line. Marleau back up top, and now Marleau again. Good movement, gets the shot away, and Pavlik got a piece of that. Couture keeps it going, back across for Demers. Logan Couture, Mirko Mueller, the 19-year-old from Switzerland. And Couture trouble with that one.
Now, Couture was moving back and forth up just inside the blue line, trying to get open for a one-timer. That one just hopped over his stick.
That's going to do it for the power play. Sharks come up empty again, 0 for 2 with the man advantage. We talked about the need for improvement on the power play this year. The Sharks, despite all the talent, ended up 20th in the NHL on the man advantage. And Jamie, it really reared its head in the worst possible time in the playoffs. The Sharks in games 5, 6, and 7 against the Kings went 0 for 15 on the power play. That right there might have been the difference in the series.
Well, if you look at their power play last year, Randy, the first 8 games they were on fire, but the last 74 games they were just under 14%. That's not a trend that you want going into the playoffs, and it did it. As you said, it reared its ugly head in games 5, 6, and 7. And that's something that's been a main focus since the first day of camp, the coaching staff. And pretty much on a daily basis, they're working on the power play from breakouts, clean entries to offensive zone time.
Thornton, and that gets through to the net. Pavlik looking for it, and he got some help from Andrew Ladd there as he stick-handled it out of trouble for the moment. But it's Thornton again, and that comes out. Braun will send it back across at center ice. And Joe Thornton will slap it back around on the hard dump in. Bogosian pressured by Pavelski. Quickly across. This is Adam Pardy. Wanted Blake Wheeler cutting through the middle. Good interception by Braun. Now the re-attack. Pavelski trying to catch Pavlik off his line. And he just missed. And Pavlik was leaning the other side. Hurdle, that skips through. Out front, a backhander by Braun. Saved by Pavlik. Now Pardy had it, lost it to Thornton. Joe Thornton, classic shot, and Pavlik with the stick save.
Now, there's 2 types of fast. There's skating fast, and Todd McClellan often talks about playing fast. Right now, the San Jose Sharks are playing fast, getting their bodies and sticks, taking away passing lanes, creating turnovers, and then I really like their transition game.
Couture forcing one across the goal mouth. Michael Frolik, he's worked over by Mirko Mueller, then held, and Frolik got away with a hold there as Marleau sends one in from the blue line. It deflects out of play.
Well, Pavlik's had to be strong here early in the second. Going to see this puck on the power play. Kind of ricochets down low and right to Braun. Good chance, nice backhand. And you ask goalies, they'll always say backhands are tough because often, a lot of times players, especially if somebody's on them, they're not sure where they're shooting it from an accuracy standpoint.
Nice look from the prison net cam of that action in and around the Winnipeg net.
Marshall was covering.
Face-off win, and now Couture puts a stick right on Mark Scheifele in the face-off circle after Scheifele knocked Couture's helmet off, and play goes on. They battle there right in the circle, and now Couture skates to the San Jose bench as he lost his lid there in that confrontation with Mark Scheifele, the outstanding sophomore center for the Jets, getting feisty there as Blake Wheeler brings it in. Up against Mueller, and he sends it in deep. Around to the far side, Byfuglien. And Stalock will release and chip that around. Jumping right back on it is Postma to Wheeler. Now Scheifele down low, battling Burns. He moved it up the wing, but it's kept in by the Jets. Now Burns again looking to move it, and again it's kept in as it's sent around by Enstrom. Jets with a little pressure here as the Sharks try and sort it out in their zone. Still struggling a little bit to get control and get it out. Scheifele given a shove by Tierney. Here's Trouba back up the wing. Winnipeg, a bunch of zone time here, but nothing really getting through the net. They still don't have a shot out of all of this. Now they lose it. Tierney will come with Marleau across center. It's Marleau, gains the line, drops for Nieto. His shot off the skate of Stewart, and it kicks right back to Halicuk. Here's Byfuglien. He's got to be getting weary. He's been on the ice for quite a bit here on a long shift as Tierney takes a hard hit from Stewart. Perreault drops for Trouba. Jacob Trouba trying to wrap it, and Stalock had the post covered. Flicked out by Nieto, out of trouble through center ice.
Go to that.
Sharks keeping the pressure on here in the second period. As Perreault goes offside, San Jose still out shooting the Jets 18-4, and quite a battle there in the circle, Jamie, between Logan Couture and Mark Scheifele.
We saw Mike Aldridge, the equipment trainer extraordinaire. And there's a Couture might have got away with one there, a little retaliation. Both of them going at it. And I love watching centers go at it. There's a lot of stuff. You got two guys stationary with their sticks coming in at each other. A lot of things, subtle things happen during faceoffs. We saw it there. Turned out to be not so subtle.
Hannon, as the referee jumps out of the way. Jason Demers now gets it in hard and around, looking for Desjardins on the boards. Andrew off his glove, trying to gain possession with help from Adam Burge. Burge back out front. He's got Mike Brown there. Here's Lowry, the son of former Shark Dave Lowry. Dave Lowry, now a coach in the Western Hockey League with Victoria. Couldn't see his son's first game on Thursday night in Arizona. He was working. But other family members in attendance for that one. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them made the trip here to the Bay Area as well, as the Lowry family spent quite a bit of time here. And young Adam used to run around the Sharks dressing room, and here he is now, a 21-year-old player in the National Hockey League, and only his second game playing in the same building where his father did.
Exciting times for him. Good for him. Congratulations. And young Adam Lowry's not small. Adam Lowry, 6'5". You see he's at 207.
Wingels can't pick up that pass. It goes the length of the ice. That'll be icing against the Sharks. There is Adam, and you mentioned played his first game on Thursday against Arizona. Of course, he had the nerves. His mother and sister and his girlfriend and his uncle and his great uncle and his great aunt and his sister's husband, they were all in Phoenix. Why not?
Why not?
I'm almost certain they all live in Canada. Get away, get to the desert. That's a great place for Adam to make his debut. Everybody says, you want to go to Phoenix? Yeah, I'll go to your debut. In Phoenix, no problem.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, his dad, Pie, nicknamed Pie, great team guy.
Couture with the pass, and Wingels just missed the net. Now Logan Couture finds the open man, and the wrist shot by Time again, glancing off the glove of Andre Pavlik. Sharks with pressure here from this Couture line with McGinn out there in the spot earlier held by Nieto. Thornton trying to stretch it out, and he's got Pavelski onside against Bogosian. Joe Pavelski takes a hard hit from Bogosian as he was down on his knee, and Bogosian moves it out of the zone. 2-0 San Jose. First period goals by Vlasic and Hertl. It came just a minute 50 apart. Now trouble at the line. Mueller left it there. Wheeler on the off wing, and the hard shot there by Byfuglien, saved by Stalock. And now Mueller trying to bank it clear, but Stewart keeps it in. Down to Blake Wheeler. Wheeler, face-off circle, stick handle, Stalock the save. Rebound alive. Trouba trying to backhand it to the front again for Scheifele. Mueller chipping it up the boards, and it does come out now. And a little of the pressure relieved there as it's dumped back in by Dustin Byfuglien.
Now the Sharks kind of absorbing the first real push from the Jets tonight. They've had a few transition opportunities, but not a lot of sustained pressure in the offensive zone. San Jose doing a good job, as was Stalock. I like the way he's challenging them.
Stewart up through center, intercepted by Pavelski. Sharks change up on the fly. Big collision behind the net. Trouba run into by Couture. They battle a bit after the hit. Now Couture drop pass, Nieto the tight turn, back to the point for Vlasic. Looks across to his partner, Justin Braun. Braun to Marleau. Marleau trapped by Stewart, gonna get a penalty. Here's Nieto. Play goes on. Vlasic jumps in from the blue line, almost had a second goal. Here's Marleau. Tees it up, and Pavlik with the save. Sharks will be on the power play when we come back. The opening week of hockey is presented by Dairy Queen.
Patty Marleau coming up the strong side wall, a little tight turn, gets his feet moving, and he ends up drawing a penalty right there. You can see the stick going right between his legs of Mark Stewart. Sharks go on the power play for the third time tonight.
Stewart scored a goal on Thursday for the Jets. Sharks 0 for 2 on the power play so far tonight. Burns shot gets through, rebound, and Brian Little tried to find Ladd on the wing. Instead, it went to Burns, and the Sharks were able to keep it in. Thornton, and that's intercepted. And now Ladd will wrist it the length of the ice.
That's the second or third time tonight the Sharks have won a face-off on the power play in the offensive zone. Something that's much improved from last game. They were 0 for 5 on offensive zone power play, or face-offs. And they're getting to the puck, the net, very quickly. Burns a couple times with a shot.
Hertl, nice move against Bogosian. On the wing to Thornton, back for Burns, all the way to Vlasic. The first move by Hertl was slick. Thornton trying to force it through, Bogosian blocked it.
And that's one of those, you get Tomas Hertl after that nice move. I think he's thinking on the power play, looking for that one-time pass. You know, if that's a 5-on-5 situation, I think the likelihood is he maybe takes a shot there.
I'd like him to take it 5-on-4 there.
Right.
Here's Wingles, chips it in around Party. Makes a hard hit, gets it around to Logan Couture. Juggles the puck, looks for Marleau. Party's there. So is Wingles and Patrick Marleau, and now Couture sends it to the point. They get things set up over to Mueller. Now Demers on his backhand. To the left shot, Marleau. To the middle! The one-timer by Couture, juggled and caught by Andre Pavlik.
And we're going to see Tomas Hertl coming through the neutral zone. Little inside step. You can see, no, he could have teed that up. Especially when he was passing it to Joe Thornton, who was a little bit behind. We're going to see that nice inside. Oh, you got to shoot it there, Tomas. Good try, though. And boy, he's having a strong game. Hey, he has his first goal tonight. He's just trying to spread the wealth a little bit early in the season.
25 points for Hertl in only 37 games in the regular season last year. And were it not for the Dustin Brown knee-on-knee hit, you wonder if he would have been in the Rookie of the Year conversation with Nathan MacKinnon. He certainly put up the big numbers early, and of course that memorable 4-goal game early in the season against the New York Rangers.
And I think it probably would have been a two-man race for the Calder.
It ended up going to MacKinnon, who did have a terrific year for Patrick Waugh in Colorado. Now Perreault chips it out past Braun. That's it for the power play. Stewart back on. Sharks 0 for 3 now with the man advantage. Probably their least effective of the 3 power plays, that last one. And speaking of it, you can never see enough of Tomas Hertl's 4th goal against the New York Rangers, October 8th last season. do you say? Brilliance by number 48. We'll be back at SAP 7. Here's a look at the mask of Alex Stalock, who gets the starting goal tonight after Antti Niemi posted the 34-save shutout in Game 1 on Wednesday. Next up for the Sharks, a 5-game road trip that starts on Tuesday in Washington against Alexander Ovechkin and the Capitals. That'll be a 4 o'clock game time, 3:30 p.m. Sharks pregame live.
5 in a row on the road, and then 15 of 19. Tough schedule.
Chance for the Jets here now. The wrist shot by Postma, and that was blocked by Mike Brown, and it stung him. Jets keep it in. Hardy, and then a shot from the wing. A scramble for the loose puck. Stalock able to find it and cover up, but a good push by the Jets.
Yeah, Mike Brown heading back to the bench, blocked a shot, and I'm going to see him paying the price here. And I think this might hit him in the hand. You can see him going down, and great job. He winces in pain. Bring back a highlight from just a couple of nights ago. Ex-Shark Dan Boyle with a broken hand after blocking a shot. Mike Brown heading back to the dressing room.
Tough break for Boyle in his New York Ranger debut, and Dan Boyle will be out for 4 to 6 weeks, so we will not see him on this road trip. Well, we may see him, but he won't be in the lineup a week from tomorrow when the Sharks play the Rangers at Madison Square Garden.
That happened in St. Louis, near where he got injured last year. He's going to be glad he's actually in the Eastern Conference, and there's no more games in St. Louis for the Rangers this year.
Penalty to the Sharks, their first of the night. Adam Burrish called for covering the puck with his hand at 10:33. This shot comes in, a big crowd at the front of the net, and the shot blocked. Now the Jets move it up top. Enstrom across, Bufflin slaps one wide. Ladd trying to chase it down. Vlasic's there, 2 men on. He's run into by Bufflin. Braun comes in, trying to get it out of that corner. Now Justin Braun with it. Good support from Pavelski, and he'll backhand it down.
And the Sharks were perfect last game against the LA Kings, killing all 5 LA King power plays.
Penalty killing was one of the Sharks' real strengths all season long last year. They finished the year 6th.
Last 2 years, 84.9% last year, 85% the year before. Both years they were 6th.
Jets power play has been a problem. 2 seasons ago they were dead last, number 30, and last year they were only able to improve it to 25th. They are 1 for 5 so far this year, getting one in Arizona a couple of nights ago. Bogosian wants Wheeler deep, but it comes all the way around to this side. Bufflin jumps in. Now Blake Wheeler slows it down, but they can't hold the zone.
San Jose doing a good job of forcing in the defensive zone, not allowing Winnipeg to set up their power play.
Here's Michael Frolik, runs into the hip check from Burns. Cannon. Couture can't corral it. Bogosian across. That ricochets to Trouba. Jacob Trouba to Mark Scheifele. Scheifele against Hannon from his knees, back down to the blue line. Trouba the short give. Wheeler off the boards, back for Trouba. Trouba stick handles to Bogosian. Back to Trouba for the one-timer, deflects wide. Stalock regains his balance, gets back set, but the puck never came back through to the net.
Good puck movement there by Winnipeg, and a quick shot on net. Nice play by Stalock.
And Stalock's going to cover this as it came off Couture's stick to him.
That's a wily veteran move there from Logan Couture. Some good communication. He's played with Alex Stalock in the past down in Worcester, and now they're teammates here in San Jose. It's a great play by Couture because it allows a face-off in the defensive zone. Real simple. That's a communication play. Stalock is going to communicate with him. You can see Logan Couture had his feet wide, kind of boxing out Scheifele in that situation. Then you get a face-off. San Jose did a great job last game against the LA Kings on face-offs. They were 59%.
And we're going to have a redo on this one. So the Sharks now with 5 straight kills to start this regular season. 4 on Wednesday. And that one, which was the Sharks' first minor penalty of this game to Bird.
Tommy Wingels taking faceoffs in the penalty kill D-zone. He was 3-1 last game.
Postma. And Mirko Mueller now as he backhand chips it up for Tierney. Wingels will bang it ahead. A race to the puck. And this will be icing as Postma beat McGinn to the hash mark.
We talked to Ty McGinn, and the coaching staff really likes the way he's adapted to the systems here. And he's using his size, particularly in the corners in front of the net. Great guy, comes from a great family. Obviously, we all know Jamie McGinn, playing with the Colorado Avalanche.
Got an assist on Wednesday for his first point as a Shark. Stalock trying to go up top with the elevator reach, just over his glove. Now Postma kicks it to his stick. Mueller doesn't grab hold of it. Thorburn with it. And Demers now to Tierney. That's chipped back. Here's Demers under pressure. It was Gagliardi there, 21 for Winnipeg. Back for Demers. Leaves it out front. Halischuk, the centering feed. Gagliardi trying to corral it, and it comes out. And the Sharks catch a break there. A little bit of ragged D-zone play right now for the Sharks since that penalty kill. As McGinn can't click with Pavelski. Jets come back. It's Lowry. Now Mueller. And Demers will lift it clear right up the middle to Trouba. Coming up on 6 minutes left in the second period. Still a 2-0 Sharks lead. Joe Thornton now across the line. Has Hurdle with him. Curls back to Pavelski. Settles it. The pass across. Blocked nicely by the Jets. Jacob Trouba.
What a tremendous play by Pavelski, catching that pass in the middle of the ice with a guy all over him and still eluding him.
Into San Jose territory, chipped off the boards by Vlasic. It drops near Thornton. Bogosian sends it back to Enstrom. Winnipeg so far held to just 9 shots with under 5.5 to go in the second period.
Well, even when San Jose's been hemmed in the defensive zone, Randy, they've done a good job of not allowing real good scoring chances in the slot area.
On the Jets breakout, Nieto pulled down by Little. No call on the play as Frolik gives it back for Brian Little. Knocked away by Stalock. Bogosian a slap shot, save, rebound. And Ladd with a big hit on Nieto gets the puck back. Andrew Ladd back to Bogosian. And across, instant wrist shot caught by Alex Stalock. Alex Stalock and the Sharks up 2-0. Time for our Geico This Date in Hockey History, October 11th of 08. In their second game of the year, the Sharks beat the Kings 3-1 here. And the Sharks would win their first 4 games that season, their first ever 4-0 start. The team would go on to set a franchise record in points that year, 117, 53 wins, and 32 wins at home on their way to the President's Trophy.
There's Joe Pavelski. You know, we look at that video back then and we say, you know, he's going to be one of the leaders here someday, wearing a letter on his shirt. Nice goal too. That was Jonathan Chichu in that video. That 2-on-1 against LA.
Pavelski, of course, led the Sharks in goals last year with 41, a career year for number 8. Mark Scheifele now for Winnipeg, number 55. Couture ahead for Nieto. Now Marleau moves to it against Bogosian. Vlasic trying to get up ice. Now he has to get back. Wheeler the centering pass, the one-timer by Scheifele. Bufflin in front trying to jam it home. Wheeler again blocked by Vlasic. And Marc-Edouard Vlasic trying to clear. And there's a penalty as Stalock's down in his goal crease, lost his stick. And Dustin Bufflin's going to the sin bin.
Yeah, he's arguing, but to no avail. It's Dan O'Halloran, the referee, the back referee in that situation. Saw Bufflin have some contact with Alex Stalock.
2 minutes for goaltender interference.
And that's the top line for Winnipeg, getting a little pressure. We're going to see Bufflin in front. He's trying to kind of jump in behind Braun, take the shortcut to behind the net. Just got inside the blue paint, little contact, and you can see Paul Maurice and his thoughts on the call. San Jose goes on the first power play.
15:43, time of the minor penalty to the Big Buff. Sharks on their 4th power play. It comes to the net, kicked all the way back out, and now tapped to center.
There's another face-off win in the offensive zone and a quick shot to the net, not allowing the D to get set up.
Here's Hurdle. Vlasic, hard slap shot. Stewart there trying to clear. Hurdle will go back up top. This is Burns. Keeps his feet moving. The drop pass ends up on Hurdle's stick, and he shoots it, blocked by Jim Slater. Slater all alone gains the San Jose line, makes a nice inside-out move on Vlasic, but then Marc-Edouard got it back.
A good back check there by Tomas Hertl creating a 2-on-1 situation in favor of the Sharks.
Pavelski in for Hertl. Ties up with Enstrom. Burns tried to center it. A jet shaken up on the play. It's Brian Little. Slow to get up. He lost a stick. He's reaching to his mouth. Havlik makes a save. And now Little sweeps it clear, but he's shaken up heading to the Winnipeg bench.
Yeah, I think he took one in the face. I'm not sure what it was. He'll be all right. Hockey player. Be back right there.
Now Marleau with speed into the zone. Patrick Marleau lost the handle as he got to the goal line. Now trying to get it back with Couture. Under 3 to go in this middle period. Sharks trying to build on a 2-0 lead as Wingels has his stick slashed right out of his hands and broken. Referee looks on, no call on the play. Wingels gets a new twig. Here's Wingels back for Mueller. He'll send it across. Demers on to Mueller. Now it's Marleau. Patrick Marleau in the face-off circle, and it goes off Enstrom's stick across to Demers. Marleau comes off the boards with it. Up top. And down low. Couture. This will trickle through to Mirko Mueller. 5 to go on the power play. Couture flicks one to the net. Pavlik the save. Rebound. He stops that too and catches the fly ball. That's it for Byfuglien as he's out of the box.
We're going to see this behind the net. It looks like Burns' stick inadvertently came up and hit Little in the face. And then we're going to see Wingels get slashed, and that's broke his stick right there. He put his hands up, complaining to the ref, and here's the last chance here from the San Jose Sharks. Good job by Wingels, who has a new stick in front of the net. Pavlik ended up catching it.
Pavlik's looked sharp since that 2-goal outburst in under 2 minutes in the first. He's made 23 saves to a dozen for Stalock at the other end. Adam Pardy now moving it up ice for Byfuglien, fresh out of the box. 2 minutes to go here in the second period as Winnipeg's called for icing. Well, coming up tonight at Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, it's Sportsnet Central at 10:30. Henry Woodford and Andrea Nakano there. We'll have a recap here from this home opener. Giants-Cardinals Game 1 highlights from the National League Championship Series and post-game reaction and analysis from St. Louis. All that coming up at 10:30 on Bay Area.
And Giants won that game 3-0. Bumgarner with the shutout. Boy, that Giants team, their model is just get to the postseason, and they are good. They have a 1-0 series lead over the Cardinals.
Braun tussling with Byfuglien, got the job done, and now Hannon drives it off the boards and out of danger, and jumping on it is McGinn. Ty McGinn from a knee, and that wouldn't go through to Burish as Mueller's back skating against Frolik. Andrew Ladd gets through in alone, and Stalock kicks the pad out to make the save. Back to the line, up the middle to Frolik. Here's Desjardins fighting off the back check of Michael Frolik, and Burish is able to scoop it out of trouble. Trouba looks back, no icing here, as Pavlik comes out to set it up for Trouba. Down to a minute to go here in this period as the Jets are trying to get on the board here before the break. Burns holds off the hit from Little, but Brian Little comes out with it. Little behind the San Jose net. Now weaving is Trouba overlap. There's a shot. Loose in front. Stalock trying to find it. Trouba there. The big D-man pushing all the way to the goal crease. Bogosian, the off wing, and Little healed it. Here's Nieto. He's got a man open. Marleau in alone. Score! Patrick Marleau on the breakaway, and it's 3-0.
Well, I don't know if Alex Stalock's going to get an assist, but he made some big saves in the defensive zone, and what a pass from Nieto, followed up by a beautiful move. We're going to see the defense. Burns just throws it out there bodily, but watch his pass by Nieto. Oh, just lays it out in front of Patty Marleau. Comes in, he gets his feet wide, head up, fakes to the backhand, forehand inside that post to the right of Pavlik. And what a turn of events here. Winnipeg with a huge push. Sharks hang on defensively, and they get a 3-0 lead, the third goal of the game with 30 seconds left in the second period. Big goal in this game.
Patrick Marleau making like Tommy Wingles in game 1. The great breakaway move by Marleau. It's 3-0. Another scramble at the San Jose net. Little leans back for Victor Bogosian. And now a whistle on the play. Going to be a hooking penalty here as Byfuglien jousts a little bit. Thornton and Vlasic both there. Let's see the way this call is going to go here late in the second period.
Looks like Joe Pavelski's heading to the penalty box. 6.5 seconds left. Give Winnipeg a little bit of credit. They could have been dejected giving up that goal with 30 seconds left in the second period, but they came right back, attacked the net. San Jose does a good job of collapsing down low. Meanwhile, Byfuglien, he's been all over the place here in this period. Part of the action. And you'll see him right in front of the net, and there's the penalty on Pavelski.
So Pavelski sits here late in this second period. 1953 time of the hooking penalty. Winnipeg with their second power play opportunity of the game. The goal, Marleau's second from Nieto and Burns at 19:31 on the breakaway.
Good explanation, or watching the referee, the linesman, talk to Burrish, explaining to him what to do. He doesn't cheat and get kicked out.
Shot from the wing, saved by Stalock. Then we get the horn. No rebound opportunity for the Jets. They'll carry a minute 54 of power play time into period number 3. That's the end of 2 here at SAP Center in San Jose. The Sharks looking impressive in this home opener. When we come back on the Ram Intermission Report, we'll check in with Kevin Kurz for an insider perspective on the Sharks goaltending situation. 3-0, San Jose in front.
Well, Larry, one of the things you guys were looking at was shutting down the neutral and the speed of the Winnipeg Jets. How do you think the team has done so far in the first 2 periods?
Well, our second period wasn't as good as our first. I think, we're looking for the pretty plays instead of just shooting the puck. The ice is really bad tonight and the puck's bouncing, so, you got to take what the other team gives you. And they were able to get more momentum just because we stopped shooting the puck.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck in the third.
There's Patrick Marleau with just a terrific breakaway goal scored in LA in game 1. That goal for Patrick just adds to the numbers. 439 career goals now. That is 64th all time. He's closing in on 1,250 games, and based on his past, he'll hit the 1,300 games played mark sometime later on in the season. He's been such a durable player. He's played every game. Think about this, every game for 5 straight seasons.
A lot of credit has to go to the strength and conditioning coach, Mike Potenza.
Right off the get-go, a chance for the Jets. Byfuglien across, and the one-timer saved by Stalock as the Jets are on the power play with Pavelski's power play coming late. Patrick Marleau gets our forward right choice, Jamie Baker.
Well, he is prepared and ready to go, and he's done it in years past. He gets off to a hot start. He's done it this year. It's a couple of things. One is his release. The second is the velocity of his shots, and the third thing is his accuracy. He knows where to be on the ice, the right spot at the right time. He's done it twice already this year.
A 3-time All-Star, a World Championship, 2 Olympic gold medals with Team Canada. Just one thing missing off that resume.
I like what he said this summer. He goes, I've got some unfinished business to do here in San Jose. He wants to be here. Thornton wants to be here. All these guys want to be here. And they've shown it early in the season.
Jets on this power play with Pavelski in the box for another minute 5. 3-0 Sharks as Toby Enstrom's shot goes wide and all the way around to the far side for Ladd. He'll chip it back to Byfuglien. Byfuglien back up for Andrew Ladd. Now it's Enstrom. Tap pass, little turnaround chop shot. Wheeler in the corner, leaned on by Braun. And Desjardins, a nice job. Still doesn't come out, though. Good keep in there by the Jets.
Left skate saved there by Byfuglien.
Brian Little on the wing. Byfuglien. And that is still loose at the side of the San Jose net. Jets still on it here, attacking on the power play. Stalock covers it up. And there's some hacking and whacking going on after the whistle.
Weeds are flying in front of the net. And Stalock, I don't think he saw that one shot, the initial shot from Dustin Byfuglien. Hit him, I think, in the shoulder. The puck was laying around there, and all four Sharks collapsing in front of him. Again, not allowing the Winnipeg Jets to get a clear second opportunity. Stalock, you see from the Prism net cam, taking away the bottom part of the net, and then eventually just covering up, getting a face-off in the defensive zone.
Jets have missed the playoffs for 7 straight years. Of course, that dates back to their time in Atlanta, but the Winnipeg fans have not seen the team play in the postseason in the 3 years they've been in Manitoba. It was 15 years in between when the original Jets left for Phoenix and when Atlanta left Georgia and went back up to Winnipeg. So the fans there went without the NHL for a long span. Now they want to see this team back in the playoffs. You know, it's tough because they haven't been quite good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not bad enough to get that number 1 or 2 overall pick. They're kind of caught in that group there, just on the outside looking in.
Well, welcome to the Western Conference. How about that?
Yeah.
And the Central Division, which had 5 teams. They had the most points, Winnipeg did, for a last-place team in their division last year.
Yeah, if they're in the East, they had a way better shot. Scheifele getting hurt late in their year really hurt them. Stalock through the skates of Burns. Scheifele trying to fire it right back, but it was behind the goal. Now Mark Stewart sends it into the corner. And Burns with a little more time, and he'll drop it back for Jason Demers.
That's a good PK for the San Jose Sharks to start the third period, negate any potential momentum that Winnipeg would have had if they had scored a power play goal.
6 total shots on Winnipeg's 2 power plays. Stalock with 21 saves on the night. And the Sharks with a 3-0 lead here in the third. Live at SAP Center, Randy Hahn, along with Jamie Baker, Brody Brazil, Curtis Brown. Glad you're along on Comcast Sportsnet California, the home opener, and kicks off our coverage here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Nice move by Hurdle to shake off Gagliardi, I believe it was. And now it's dumped in and an offside call.
Well, that's the same move he made in the second period.
Skating well, of course, had the knee surgery last year, came back for the playoffs, and then spent the offseason strengthening that knee and that leg and getting back to 100%. There's Gagliardi, who himself suffered a very scary injury in preseason. Gagliardi underwent eye surgery only about 2 weeks ago. And it could have been a lot worse than it turned out to be.
There's the visor. Still took a stick right underneath it. Right underneath the visor.
It was in practice from a teammate. Somehow still snuck under there. And put him on the shelf for a bit during training camp. Good to see TJ back out there and healthy for Winnipeg. Marleau takes a hit from Ladd. Puck goes loose to Brian Little.
Good back check by Logan Butero, forcing in the neutral zone.
Frolik now. Ladd heads to the net, and Frolik fans on the shot. Ice a little sticky. Larry Robinson referenced it when you talked to him, and the Jets struggling with it a little bit here too. It's that time of the year, warm temperatures. And of course, with all the people in the building tonight, a sellout crowd here at SAP Center. Hardy tracked down by McGinn. Now Byfuglien in the corner. Builds a wall to shield Braun away from the puck. Scheifele, Wheeler, and Wingels intercepts. Tierney back for Wingels. Tries to slide by that hip check. We've got an interference call there, or tripping. Either way, Jets are going back to the penalty box. It'll be Adam Pardy.
Well, good speed through the neutral zone by the San Jose Sharks. And you're going to see Tommy Wingels trying to elude, and you can just see that leg.
Winnipeg number
Kick back.
2 minutes stripping.
Good job by Wingels. Had 2 goals last game. His line was +2. They draw a penalty, put the Sharks on a power play.
Of course, scored the first goal of the game against LA, and that turned out to be the game winner.
7 game winners last year. Led the team.
Well, when your name is Wingels, you score winning goals.
It's just his nature.
Thornton, and Pavelski can't catch. Ranging over for it is Hurdle. Sharks trying to build on a 3-0 lead. All 3 goals coming at even strength from Vlasic, Tomas Hurdle, and then on a breakaway late in the second period from Patrick Marleau. Here's Here's Hurdle to Thornton. Pavelski locks up Stewart to give Hurdle a little more time down low, but the Jets do a nice job sorting it out. Gagliardi on this penalty kill. He'll load up, and a blocker saved by Alex Stalock. Frolik. And now the Sharks come ahead. Marleau. Good pressure from Enstrom. Forces Marleau back. Sharks will change up. Now Vlasic bobbles the puck. Gets it away from Lowry. This is Jason Demers. Let's try to get something going on the power play, and Winnipeg doing a nice job on the PK.
Well, they're using their speed up the ice. Not allowing San Jose to really.
A chip by Demers. Now here's Couture. He'll catch up to it. Lost his balance. Nieto will jam it behind the net for Marleau. A hard rim to Demers, who's waiting on it, but he can't hold the zone. And now he's got to be careful. He's got Brian Little right on him, but he does a nice job. Makes the play and finds Nieto open at center. Marleau to Couture. Logan stick handling it to the front of the net. Look for a tip from Nieto. Marleau will play it back to Couture behind the net against Trouba. Jacob Trouba. And now the net comes off as Nieto is shoved in through the goal mouth. Going to be a penalty on this play.
Yeah, I think we might see an interference. Nieto was jostling for body position right in front of the net. He got knocked into the post. We're going to get a...
Be against the Jets.
Yeah, we're going to get a short 5-on-3 for 19 seconds.
Mark Stewart cross-checked Nieto right into the net.
Well, that one's a little too obvious for the referee. They have to call that.
Jets penalty number 5, Mark Stewart.
Well, with 14:05 left in this game, Sharks up 3-0. We've seen them when they win faceoffs in the offensive zone on the power play. Something they didn't do last game, but they have been tonight. They're attacking the net very quickly. Expect them to do it here because they're going to try and score in the first 19 seconds. And if they do that, then they have a 5-on-4 power play for 1:40.
Interference to call on Stewart at 5:55, so it's a 19-second 5-on-3. As Stewart and Party are in the Winnipeg penalty box. Scheifele facing off against Patrick Marleau. Scheifele initially won the draw, but Couture recovers it now and gets it back. Thornton to Burns. Now Marleau looks at Burns, sends it instead up ice for Couture. He can't catch it, but Gosien breaks it up. Scheifele clears it.
It's almost like a wide receiver waiting for a pass and looking to see where the defenders are. He took his head up there. Couture did, just bobbled the puck enough to allow Winnipeg to get the puck and ice it.
And allow Winnipeg to kill the rest of Party's penalty. It's a 5-on-4. Centering pass, loose to Couture, and the backhand over the net and out of play.
Well, that was a great chance for Logan Couture. You can see the puck. Not sure it was bobbling. Yeah, it was on its edge a little bit. You're going to see him go to his backhand. Just a little too much. You want to go to bring that puck to your backhand. You usually release it on the heel, and he heeled that one too much over the net. That's hard to do.
Couture a little frustrated tonight.
No, he loves to score. He's been in this game physically all night long.
23 goals and 54 points in only 65 games last year for Logan, who had his share of injuries. Jets come back up ice now, shorthanded Jim Slater to Gagliardi. Back for Slater, and Gagliardi is checked hard by Brent Burns. Bounces right back up, though. And now Hurdle. Sharks offside. 1:01 left in the power play as the Sharks have done all their damage. 5-on-5. They're 0 for 5 on the man advantage tonight. This is their 6th power play.
And look at Brent Burns. There's Patty Marleau on the bench. San Jose really hasn't had many chances. The Couture chance, really the only chance on the power play.
Wasn't long ago.
It is killing the clock, though.
It wasn't long ago. The shot differential was huge. The Sharks over Winnipeg, but now it's 26-22. Alex Stalock's been a lot busier since about the middle of the first period on. Intercepted by Party. He's got Lowry open, and the wrist shot saved by Stalock, and he'll bat it ahead to keep the play moving. Nice play by Stalock. Here's Nieto, 3-on-1. Pass across. Wingles trying to settle it. Now slips a big check from Party. Nieto comes in, gets it back. Mueller. Nieto. Braun trying to sneak back door down that right wing. Well read there by Trouba, who broke it up. And Party will backhand it down the ice. And that is just about going to do it for another San Jose power play. They'll go to 0 for 6 on the evening with a dozen minutes left here in the third. 3-0 Sharks as the Jets are going back to the penalty box again. That is just undisciplined, way behind the play. Back at their own, at the San Jose blue line. And another Winnipeg penalty. This one's probably going to be a slash, and Paul Maurice can't like this. We will step aside. Sharks will be back on the power play when we come back. The opening week of hockey is presented by Dairy Queen.
Well, we're going to take a look at this penalty. Adam Burris coming up. His old teammate. They want to cup together. Dustin Byfuglien just gives him a little tap right on the back of the leg. The back referee saw it. It's an undisciplined penalty for Byfuglien. Sharks go on their 7th power play of the game.
That's Byfuglien's second trip to the penalty box. He had an earlier call against him for goaltender interference. Now Pavelski to Brent Burns. Keeps his balance despite the hit from Enstrom. Now Enstrom again. And Gagliardi sends it down. 7th power play of the game for the Sharks to just 2 for Winnipeg. Tomas Hertl and Pavelski's offside. A little miscommunication there on the entry at the blue line. Part of that, Jamie, early season stuff?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Randy. You know, you can see it in their zone entries. Todd McLellan has often said that this team gets their power play, they get their confidence from good zone entries. And we've seen in the last 3 or 4 instances on the power play, Winnipeg doing a good job pushing them up the ice, but San Jose not entering the zone cleanly, and because of it, they're not spending as much time in the offensive zone or getting as many chances.
Jacob Trouba, played a year at the University of Michigan under Red Berenson. Demers to Tommy Wingle. This is Braun off Demers' skate. Work it deep for Couture. Logan, watched by Lowry and Trouba, puck triples through to Braun. Wingle's parked in front of the net as the Sharks handle it up high. Couture's shot saved by Pavlik. Trouba falls as he tries to clear. Couture keeps into Demers. Now Jason, he'll load up, and that's blocked up top. Frolik got in front of it, and now Michael Frolik will skate with it.
That puck was just spinning off when it came off, ricocheted off the boards to Couture, hit his stick, and kind of just spun away from him.
Stalock makes the save and hangs on, but the Jets will get a face-off in Sharks territory with 25 seconds left in Byfuglien's penalty.
There's Alex Stalock coming out, challenging, and a little bobble with his, kind of showing off his little hand-eye coordination there. Look at this. Pops it up, goes and gets it.
Alex now in his 4th year in the NHL, 27 years of age, a native of St. Paul, Minnesota, and part of this goaltending duo for the Sharks. Niemi backstopping the Sharks to that 4-0 win in LA on Wednesday.
Both goalies have been confident and poised. They're just great friends off the ice. Niemi went to Stalock's wedding this summer. They push each other. They know that they're challenging each other for ice time, but they really try and help each other make others better.
Stalock, one of several Sharks players who got married this offseason. Tommy Wingle's another. Matt Irwin another. It was a wedding bell summer. And Stalock will cover this as Byfuglien now gets surrounded by Sharks after he gave Stalock a snow shower.
I think we're going to see an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty to Dustin Byfuglien. He's getting his first hat trick of the year in penalties, though.
Patrick Marleau with a breakaway goal earlier tonight. We'll give this our Ram shot of the game, Jamie Baker.
Oh, look at this pass. Not today, my good man. I'm feeling a little saucy. And look at the finish from Patty Marleau. Love the pass from Nieto. Love the fake, the shoulder, little cheek, little jive, little short side. That made it 3-0.
That's awfully close to unstoppable. I don't care who's playing goal. Dustin Byfuglien got into it with the referee. He picks up 4 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct and a 10-minute misconduct, and not a happy camper on his way out. Watch out as Byfuglien is done with that stick for the night, and maybe done for the night.
Wanted to warn those blue coats. Guy starts banging his stick. There could be splinters. You got to back up. Don't walk towards him.
Bufflin had a good game in Arizona the other night. He was the big buff. He had a goal, his 300th NHL point, 4 shots. He hit a post and a crossbar. But tonight, kind of coming unraveled. Chris Thorburn is going to serve his 4 minutes.
Well, the coaching staff, Paul Maurice and his assistants you can see the frustration by the amount of penalties that their team has taken tonight. They haven't given themselves enough chance, 5-on-5, to try and get back into this.
Well, they have now changed it to just the 1 2-minute minor for unsportsmanlike and the 10. So it's back down to a 2-minute power play for the Sharks. The Sharks, Jamie, 0 for 8 on the power play. This game's not over. It is 3-0, but there's still 9.5 to go. They would probably do well to get some insurance here.
I can tell you, watching the coaching staff, Todd McLellan right now talking to his players about the better execution on the power play.
Yeah, they need it over their last 3 power plays. No shots on goal. Burns works for Thornton, but he chipped it up high and it went off the mesh. And we'll have a face-off in Winnipeg territory with 9:01 left here in the third.
Todd McLellan has talked about you're going to earn your ice time, and he takes the top power play unit off after only 35 seconds. He didn't like what he saw. He puts the second unit out there. Hurdle, Wingels, Nieto with Vlasic and Braun.
We saw Joe Thornton there, who had an assist earlier in the game on Hurdle's goal. Joe now 5 points away from 1,200 in his career, which will tie him with Dino Ciccarelli for 35th overall. Pretty good bet that he'll get that on the road trip. Sharks head for 5 straight on the road. Wouldn't it be something if he got it in Boston, his old stomping ground?
That's the 5th of the game.
I'm sure he'd prefer to do it sooner. It'd mean he'd be getting a hot hand going. Vlasic across, nobody on that point. Braun had to back away because there was pressure coming up the ice.
And the Sharks just not moving well enough away from the puck. They're making some hope passes. And they're like they're getting spread out. They're almost trying to set up before they've got full possession.
Nieto will come across to Wingels' side of the ice. Held by Enstrom. Ladd's there for the Jets. Plays it nicely off the boards to Bogosian. Now Zach Bogosian wide, takes this slap shot. Stalock save and out of play. So the Jets get a short-handed opportunity there. Not a high percentage shot from that far out by Andrew Ladd. That's Bogosian.
That's a good save. Pretty easy save for Alex Stalock. Saw it all the way, deflected the puck up into the mesh, allowing the Sharks to get the next power play unit. This has been a tough game for the 3rd and 4th liners for the Sharks. It's tough to get into a game when there's so many penalties. Especially the 4th line. They all played over 10 minutes last game, but their minutes are a little lower tonight.
Adam Burish now getting power play time as Todd McLellan wants to see some different looks, but the Sharks are offside here again. The entries have been as big a problem as any, Jamie.
It'll be something they will address in practice. They've been working on it, but again, it's early in the season. And last year they got off, their power play was actually tremendous earlier in the year. We're seeing them struggle a little bit right now. I think we'd all take a hot power play at the end of the year. We'll make some adjustments, but you're right, Randy, the zone entries have been one of the key areas or problems on the power play tonight.
Adam Party now for the Jets. Burish has a stick in there to prevent a pass. And Patrick Marleau. The headman pass for Couture, but it deflected away. And Thorburn comes out of the penalty box after serving that minor to pick up the puck. Now Marleau has it bounced to him to Couture. Logan fires, and it's just wide. Havlik got a piece of it.
That's good puck support and strong side by Couture.
Mark Scheifele with speed against Hannon. Across for Thorburn, and he healed it. If he gets that flat on the blade of his stick, not much of a chance for Stalock, who was trying to get across, but was out of time. Stewart to the net, and Stalock's got that, felt it drop and covered.
And we're going to see Stalock coming out way past the paint, and you're right, Randy. If that pass connects, it's going to be a 3-1 game. But when you force guys to rush passes, or you're leaning in stick on stick, it creates a situation where they don't necessarily make the tape-to-tape pass. I love the way that Stalock's coming out and challenging. I thought Niemi did the same thing last game.
Clean face-off. Win for the Jets. Stalock the save, and he stops the rebound too, as Little was right there with 2 chances.
The Jets are now out shooting San Jose, 27-26.
Stewart floats one over the net. Frolik leaves it for Ladd. Shoulder to shoulder with Braun, who wins the battle. But they're not clear of the zone yet. Now it is Tierney. He'll bust across the line. Puts on the break. Shakes the hit. Thrown at him by Trouba. Probably a good idea by the Shark forward. Chris Tierney playing in just his 2nd NHL game tonight. Andrew Desjardins. He'll try and take it to the net. Trouba in the way. Joe Thornton. All the way up top to Burns. Burns leans back, gets it to the net, deflects up and out of play behind the Winnipeg net.
Alex Stalock, he's been very athletic tonight. We've seen all kinds of different looks from Mr. Stalock, who's made 27 saves so far. A little bit of a basketball look. Look at that, jumping up. Little glove and knocking the puck out with one hand, and he's going to bobble it up with his forehand this time.
Under 6 minutes left here in the 3rd now.
He's been pretty good with his pads, too.
This will be icing. If you joined us late, maybe after Giants baseball, Sharks scored first, obviously. Marc-Edouard Vlasic at 3:22 of the opening period. And then a minute 50 later, Tomas Hertl got his first. And then on a breakaway, Patrick Marleau with the 3rd San Jose goal. That's been all the scoring tonight. And Thornton's going to be asked to vacate the face-off circle.
Burns picked up an assist on the Marleau goal. He has 3 assists early in the campaign. Brent Burns is a defenseman, picking up right where he left off last year as a forward.
Sharks do not have a shot on goal in the 3rd period, and they have 4 power plays. They're being outshot 11-0 in this period. So no lack of things for the coaching staff to work on with the players when the team practices on Monday. Actually, we're going to travel Monday to DC. Practice tomorrow and travel. Originally, we're going to travel tomorrow, as McClellan in the past has liked to go to the East Coast a day early, but they changed their plans. We'll step aside. Come back to SAP Center. Time for our Toyota game summary here in the home opener for the Sharks. Take you back to the 1st period. Marc-Edouard Vlasic, a slap shot that beat Andre Pavelec for his 1st goal of the year. Then Tomas Hertl just under 2 minutes later. Nice finish on the pass from Thornton, and then Patrick Marleau, and a great feed from Matt Nieto. And look at the hands and the skating skills of Patrick Marleau. His 2nd of the season. And that's been all the scoring so far at the other end. Alex Stalock's been perfect with 27 saves in goal for the Sharks. Penalties for roughing. That's Bogosian's fist in Hannon's face, and then Hannon's fist in Bogosian's face. And they get 2 each for roughing.
Well, and that was Hannon stepping in. I really like this. Zach Bogosian went and kind of gave a little push, shove, cross-check, if you will, to Tomas Hertl. Hannon saw it, went over, addressed it immediately. So we're going to get a little 4-on-4 action.
You noted it earlier. Jets now out shooting the Sharks in this game, 27-26, but trailing by 3.
Well, if the Colorado Avalanche were here and trailing by 3, Patrick Waugh might think of 4-on-4 pulling the goalie to get an extra attacker.
Yeah, power play, do it for sure.
Yeah, we'll see if Paul Maurice is thinking along those lines.
Right now the Sharks have the puck, so that's not going to happen as Braun sends it in for Marleau, trying to do like Nieto did on the breakaway goal in the 2nd period. That time it didn't bounce for Patty. Blake Wheeler, he'll load up, and Vlasic blocks it.
Oh, that's just surgical use of the stick there by Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Taking away all the time and space. Blake Wheeler, he had 2 goals, 1 assist. Gordie Howe hat-trick last game. He also got in a fight. That was just a great job by the Olympian Marc-Edouard Vlasic, and also the assistant captain there for the Sharks.
Yeah, Wheeler not a guy who drops the gloves very often. Went with Shane Doan. And Pavelski goes offside here. So the Sharks will be featured with our continuing coverage immediately following the conclusion of this with Esurance post-game live. Be sure to stay tuned. Brody Brazil and Curtis Brown live here at SAP Center to add their perspective to tonight's goings-on. Brett Hedican will join as well. Brett, of course, now over on the radio side on KFOX and the Sharks Radio and Network, along with the voice of the Sharks, Dan Rusanowski. And here's Joe Pavelski now. 4-on-4. Plays it ahead for Mirko Mueller. Now back for Pavelski into the corner for Nieto. Nieto with a goal in the first game of the year on Wednesday. Had to feel good going into LA, and especially for him into the LA area. This Long Beach native scoring a goal there at Staples Center. Trouba gives for Adam Party. 3 defenders back for the Sharks, and Party's backhand pass goes astray. Now Frolik got it for Winnipeg.
The clock becoming a factor for Winnipeg now. Sharks up 3-0.
Matthew Perreault. Nicely done by Jason Demers to get the puck away, but Perreault bounces right back to his skates and able to get his stick on it to Frolik.
Sounds like he just wants to keep it simple right now. Push it to the outside, get pucks deep, chip him out of the defensive zone.
Handing out of the box, as is Bogosian. We're back to 5-on-5 with just over 3 minutes left here in the third period. Hardy. And that's off the stick of Gagliardi back into Winnipeg territory. Wingles trying to corral it for San Jose. The check by Desjardins on Postma. Now Slater back over to Party. Postma will flick it through center ice. Off the glove of Braun. Just recovering in time. As it bounces back in, Jets will be offside if they touch it, but they don't. And Wingles will slide it down the board. Marc-Edouard Vlasic in a collision in the neutral zone as Gagliardi ran into Slater. And that's similar to what happened between Scheifele and Kane on Thursday night in Arizona. And of course, it ended much worse as Kane was injured to the point where he was unable to play here tonight. But hopefully from a Jets standpoint, that wasn't as bad.
He's all right. He's shaking up a little bit, and then he got the wind knocked out of him.
A shot from the angle, saved by Stalock. Now Trouba wrist shot, and a great kick save by Alex Stalock. Stewart, touch pass, and it's backhanded in by Haluschuk. Stalock out to play it, and this one will come out courtesy of Marleau against Trouba. Haluschuk back, and he just clears the zone as Marleau wrists it back in. Down to 1:35 left. Frolik wants Ladd. That's behind him. Thornton rather chips it for Hurdle. Hurdle in deep. Pavelski after it. Taken away. Hardy up through center. Wanted Postma. Thornton looked for it. And we'll have a hand pass called in the neutral zone. What a save by Alex Stalock just a moment ago, Jamie.
Oh, what a beauty. Right pad save. You're going to see him. Look at him looking, trying to find that puck, and then just uses his reflexes. And it's a great look at him right there. Look at it crouching down low in the butterfly. Oh, that hurts just looking at it.
Great extension.
Right?
The kind of extension we saw from Niemi on his save of the game in LA on Thursday.
Yeah, the Jeff Carter wraparound attempt.
A lot of work in the offseason goes into being that flexible to start your year. And those guys put that work in. Training camp's not the place where you get in shape anymore like it used to be back in the day. You better come in shape.
No more 10 push-ups and bring your clubs, you're saying?
Yeah. Or Mario Lemieux's old line. Yeah, training camp meant that I didn't put gravy on my French fries anymore. Down to 40 seconds left. Here's Enstrom. Loads up, sends it back to Bogosian, and that hits a skate and goes wide. Jets putting on a push here to get a goal. Half a minute to go. Wingles leans in on Lowry. Burns trying to play it out. Still in the zone. Enstrom to Thorburn. Back for Toby Enstrom. Trapped by Burish. Thorburn lines up and it's blocked back to Enstrom. He risks it to the net. Stalock the save. He drops it. Back out in front. Thorburn shot blocked. Another chance. And it's blocked in front again by Mueller. Thorburn again. The game is over. And the Sharks have back-to-back shutouts to start their season.
And the guy that was sitting right beside me at the end of the Sharks bench was Antti Niemi, and he was one of the first players on the ice to go congratulate Alex Stalock, and a big smile on his face. And that just shows you the camaraderie that these two goalies have. Just awesome stuff.
Sharks only the 7th team in the history of the NHL to earn shutouts in their first 2 games, as they do it by a 3-0 score tonight. And they do it with 2 different goaltenders. And I wonder, on that list of 7, how many teams other than the Sharks did that? As is their custom, the Sharks players convene at center ice to salute this sellout crowd as they win it here in shutout fashion over the Jets. And the Sharks have now outscored the opposition 7-0 through their first 2 games of this 2014-15 campaign. We'll stay for the 3 stars here in the building, and then Jamie Baker will chat with one of them down at ice level. Let's go to the ice for tonight's 3 stars.
3 stars of the game. The 3rd star of tonight's game, from your Sharks, number 44, Marc-Edouard Vlasic. The 2nd star of tonight's game, from your Sharks, number 12, Patrick Marleau. And the number 1 star of tonight's game, from your Sharks, picking up his 3rd career shutout, number 32, Alex Stalock. And now let's send it over to the Sharks bench and join Jamie Baker with our number 1 star tonight.
Back-to-back shutouts. Alex, congratulations. You got to feel really good about the way you played and the entire team tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, what a start to open up the season at home, and it was great for the support we had from the fans, and it was a fun one.
What was your goal coming in tonight? I mean, Niemi had a great game, got a shutout. You're the starter here. Just give us your thoughts coming into tonight's game.
Same thing Nemo did. He made big saves at right times, and he got to win, and that's what I wanted to do tonight. Make a few saves early and did that, and then boys played from there.
He came to your wedding this summer. Give our fans an idea of the camaraderie that you two, even though you guys are challenging for ice time, but yet here he was one of the first guys on the ice tonight to cheer you on. He had a huge smile when you got the shutout.
All right, yeah, it's I think that's why you see us enjoying it so much and enjoying each other. Is lucky to have a guy right next to you that's pulling for you the most.
Your first shutout as a married man. Congratulations. Let's hear it for Alex Stalock.
So, a productive start to the season. Back-to-back shutout wins. The final here at SAP Center. Sharks 3, Winnipeg 0. Post-game live is next.